Our real special guest, Chris Hickey here. Chris has come full circle in his coaching career. He's been started out here in Ballina. He's been to Eastwood in Sydney, down to Tuggeranong in Canberra. He's spent time coaching the New South Wales Waratahs as the head coach, and now he's doing a lot of work with World Rugby. He's been to the Philippines, Fiji and America in the last 18 months, so with more of that sort of work coming up. So we're very lucky to have a resource here like Chris. It was Chris's idea to start up a school's first 15 comp, so he's a big part of the reason that we're all here today. So I'd like to thank Chris for giving up his time to help make sure this competition started and helped support it. Thank you very much.
Len, just so you know, the Shield's named after Len Diett, who did a lot to establish rugby here on the far north coast, particularly in under 18s and at schoolboy level. He coached the Ballina High School while he was up here, and that year they made it through to the semi-finals of the Waratahs Shield. It's a pretty good result for him to achieve. So just so you know who the Shield is that you're playing for, play your best rugby, enjoy it, and have a great afternoon. Today we're hosting the final of the Len Diett Shield, which is a competition that's been established this year on the far north coast, and it's the first time there's been a first 15 schools competition run on the far north coast. Yeah, look, a big part of this competition is to try and establish a relationship between the schools and their local clubs, and every club who plays in the far north coast competition has got a local high school. So what we're trying to do is establish that relationship through support for those schools, through assistance in coaching, supply of equipment, or offering the grounds, the club grounds as a playing venue for those schools. For the game to have a future up here, we need to be developing it both at Colts level and schoolboy level.
The local rugby club for Xavier is the Lennox Head Trojans, so support has been really strong there. There's the chance there to collaborate, and there's a chance there to talk about how does the club play, how does the school play, what can we do, how can we learn from each other, so there's actually a chance there to combine our coaching. The massive success story has been that the Len Diett has really been a vehicle or a pathway for our entry into the Waratah Cup. Although we didn't get the result we wanted in the final, for a school like us that's only 20 years old, that's an amazing result to be runners-up in the Waratah. And honestly, the vehicle has been the Len Diett, because it's given us more open boys games this year than we've ever had. It's actually made the team bond and gel and all those things, which we were more prepared for the Waratah this year than we've ever been, thanks to the Len Diett.
Len Diett was a dual international in rugby league and rugby union. Len moved up here after he retired, retired from playing football. He hadn't retired, he was a teacher here in Ballina. And Len had a big part to do in establishing Colts rugby up here on the far north coast. And he also coached the Ballina high school team.
Be very happy, and he'd be very happy to see that schoolboy rugby's alive and well, because he kicked it off with just a lunchtime competition at Ballina High School.
It's been really good getting to play against all the other teams, find new friends and get to experience what it's like playing against people at different levels of football. So you get to understand how people play, and you sort of can read the game.
A lot of what he did fostered the game at that youth level, and so Len passed away, unfortunately, earlier in the year. And then when we were looking at this competition, it seemed very appropriate that the Shield be named after Len, and in his honour and in recognition of what he had done for rugby on the far north coast.